the Giants. They're really fast, they're very athletic, they're very dynamic, and they're really good. One of the things that the NFL has a huge advantage of over the other sports in America, and this is why they keep kind of pulling away from other sports. The NBA ratings are down, baseball's kind of plateau, the NFL's keep growing, is that when you can go from really okay to really exceptional very fast. It takes a couple of draft picks. And in the last 2 years, Dallas has hit on 4 draft picks, each in a different unit. CeeDee Lamb, last year, home run, wide receiver. Trayvon Diggs, last year, one of the best corners in the game. Micah Parsons, linebacker unit. And then Osa Odigizua from UCLA defensive line has been an absolute home run. 4 separate units have added an inexpensive star. And these are stars. These guys are elite players. When you add that to a good roster, whoa, it's a great team. And Dallas is now embarking on that. In baseball, a great draft pick goes to the minors. In basketball, a great draft pick, you can't win with kids. You can in the NFL. In fact, you need great young players to offset your expensive quarterback. That's the way the league works. Now, the opposite is true, too. If you can't get the quarterback right, ask the Miami Dolphins. Your defense the following year can't stop anybody. But you can criticize Mike McCarthy, but every single NFL team, including the Buffalo Bills and the Green Bay Packers, both in week 1, have had a stinker. Tampa Bay had a stinker in L.A. I've watched the Cowboys play 5 games. The game they lost, I thought they outplayed Tampa on the road. This team has not had a bad Sunday or a Monday. They haven't. They've lost 1 game. We know now the Chargers are pretty good. Beat them in L.A. We know Tampa's the Super Bowl champ. Gave them 450 yards in fits. So in 2 years, and we predicted on this show, I thought they were a playoff team. They're a good team. I've been saying this for 20 years. They're a good team. They'll be entertaining. But when you add to a good team, last 2 years, 4 outstanding, like elite rookie players. You make a really, really smart coordinator change to a good roster. What you have is a Super Bowl bubble team. This is one of the 8 teams with a chance to win it today. And I have never been anti-Cowboy. I've been anti-hype with the Cowboys. This team's good. They're fast. They're athletic. They're young enough, but have the experience at the left tackle, at the quarterback, at the edge rusher, just enough experience to matter. And here's Mike McCarthy after.
Yeah, I don't even think you can compare this team to last year's team. It's different on so many different fronts, but we're clearly, we've competed, 5 times now, and I felt like we have played, winning football in all 5 contests, and but we were looking for more production today, and I felt like we took a step in the right direction.
Giants were injured, no doubt. But even before that, it was a fumble in the red zone or Dallas would have had a sizable lead. This is a really, really good Dallas Cowboy football team. Tampa doesn't look tight. I still can't get over the conservative play calling by Green Bay. Arizona's fantastic, but we don't know if we can trust them late. Perhaps that's the same with the Dallas Cowboys, but this is real. What you're seeing is real. Joy Taylor with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
Well, rough weekend for the referees and a rough weekend for the kickers.
Oh, my gosh. It was. Honestly, that's why I don't get Matt LaFleur of Green Bay's coaching. What are you doing? They kicked a field goal on 3rd down. I don't understand it.
I don't know. It was Doinkville yesterday, though, and they are definitely louder doinks this year.
Oh, no, they're miking the doinks. The doinks are hotly mic'd.
So loud. Well, it was tied at 22 near the end of the 4th quarter. Incredible game.
Oh, it was great.
And neither kicker could get it through the uprights. Cincy missed one, and Green Bay missed 2 and 3 straight possessions to send it to overtime. And didn't get much better there. Both kickers missed again before Mason Crosby finally hit a 49-yarder to give the Packers the 25-22 win. There were 12 missed field goals and 12 missed extra points combined in Week 5.
And a lot of them, the bad weather's not here. This is still beautiful. I don't know how cold it was. It was a beautiful day in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we're not talking about weather misses. And,
Yeah.
this is like as good a weather as the fall presents outside of Kansas City
And
last night.
generally really good kickers, too. It was very bizarre. It was a bad day for kicking. Now, since the extra point was moved back in 2015, this is the first week to have at least 10 missed field goals and 10 missed extra points. So this is kind of an outlier
little bit
thing. So I don't want to like get crazy like with conspiracies or anything. It just seemed to be a really bad day for kickers this weekend. But overall, good game. Joe Burrow, 26 of 38, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was taken to the hospital with a throat contusion after the game.
Yeah, I saw that.
But it was reportedly just a precaution, and he's expected to be fine. Okay. Jamar Chase, again, 6 catches, 159 yards, touchdown, and we know what Aaron Rodgers does. But overall, even though this wasn't a win for the Bengals, I felt like this was a very telling game for the direction that they're heading.
Oh, no.
Like, I didn't think they were going to beat the Packers.
No, Packers are a better team. There's no question. If you watch the game, the Packers, I felt like were the better team. I actually called the upset. I had Cincinnati winning, and I thought I had it like the Cleveland game I called. I thought I had it. I could have had a spectacular weekend. Did not. I was so close. But I will say this. This is all about baby steps.
Yeah.
And Cleveland, Cincinnati is really close. I don't know if they're there yet, but offensively, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think you don't want to get like into the moral victory space, but I do think you have to take things into perspective even in a loss, and that was a great game by Cincinnati against a better team in the Packers. So, Justin Fields, what do you know? He can play. It's officially begun the era in Chicago. In his first game since being named the starter going forward, he threw for 111 yards in his first touchdown pass in the 20-9 victory. Chicago's defense also had a really big game.
They did.
Khalil Mack, 8 tackles and a sack. He still has it. And they also held the Raiders to the fewest points so far this season. So I guess, the thing with the Lions wasn't just beating the Lions, and he can actually play NFL football.
Yeah, no, I think
this was a legitimate win.
Yeah.
So you don't want to count the Lions one. There you go. The Raiders are a real team, and yes, Chicago has a great defense, but he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, and he needs a better defense. He's going to throw for 120 yards. This is how young quarterbacks win. Trey Lance yesterday didn't throw for many yards, but he competed.
Yeah.
So the key, in Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence has to throw for 350 yards. Zach Wilson, same thing. When you're young, this is the kind of win. Mac Jones, by the way, you have to win this way. And that's why when they come in the first year, 500's a wonderful goal. Just don't ask them to do it. Justin Herbert's a complete exception to the rule. Is this offensive line is not capable of giving him 38 points a week. And I thought they really came in. I know we don't like Matt Nagy, right? Everybody can. But this was a nice game plan. They played within his ability to do things.
I don't have a problem with Matt Nagy. Yeah. I thought Justin Fields should have been starting week 1, and it appears I am correct about that. He didn't need 1.5 games holding a tablet to figure out how to play, but that's the way it was handled. Yeah. And now it's Justin Fields' team moving forward. And, the schedule's going to get a little interesting.
Who do they play next?
So they have Green Bay next week on Fox. And then they have the Buccaneers, then the 49ers, Steelers, and the bye. So
a lot of defenses.
Yes.
A little choppy there.
Well, after the bye, it's pretty even.
Yeah.
But we'll see. That was a legitimate win though against the Raiders, and they should feel good about that. So Saturday night, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder ended in thrilling fashion.
Wild.
I think it's been the best fight I've ever been to.
In terms of action, it's one of the best fights I'm not saying they're two great fighters, but in terms of just the action I saw.
It was a very emotional fight.
Oh, they hate each other, like legitimately.
They legitimately don't like each other. The arena was not... So you and I were at the second fight.
Right.
And that was a very heavy Fury crowd.
Yes.
But with COVID... Fury fans can't come over. There's travel restrictions.
So it was very
split.
Yeah.
And you could feel it. But you could also feel the emotion. Because when the heavyweights fight, it's different. Like, there's just a different energy in the building.
Yeah, it feels big.
It feels big. They are big. They're leaning on each other. Like, you can feel the energy of and they are fighting. So 5 knockdowns, Wilder going down 3 times, Fury going down twice. There was a couple rounds where if you had just a few more seconds, the fight was going to be over.
Yeah.
But Fury ended up winning, got the final word, knockout in the 11th round to retain his heavyweight title. Anthony Joshua is the fight that everyone keeps talking about. He's 24-2-0. He
Yeah.
fought September 25th and lost to Alexander Usyk, and he exercised his rematch, which is reportedly supposed to take place next spring. So it could be a while before we see that Fury Joshua fight. But this was an absolutely incredible night. Just